Customs and immigration officers continued with their protest today. It was their last-ditch attempt to draw government attention to their concerns. Janaea Noel Ferguson has details of their Rawson Square protest.
Customs and immigration officers say they're dead serious about continuing their strike action, claiming that the government has not held its end of the bargain and now a national strike is possible.
So those workers in the public service, man, listen, that is looming. That is looming. And the path we're on, that is almost imminent. But we're talking about the people in the public service, not just customs and immigration, you know. These people work all year, man. Give them something for Jesus' sake. You can dissolve the house and don't give them nothing?
For the past several days, Defense Force officers have had to man the various ports of entry. According to Vice President of Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union Sloan Smith, this is now a national security concern.
If the government is saying that they prefer untrained persons in the booth, and that doesn't mean they are not skilled in their respective areas. They're just fish out of water, and really the government is victimizing them, in our opinion. Why would you put them in that position? When you could simply come and talk to these people, talk to their leadership, and solve the issues. That is a national security threat.
Meanwhile, protests continued throughout the day. Union Executive Alma Wim says despite claims that their actions are politically motivated, this is something that they have been agitating for months now.
We are tired begging, we are tired asking, we're tired pleading, and so now we're taking action.
Immigration and customs officers claim poor working conditions and the implementation of a new shift system, which are just some of the issues which demand immediate attention.
We have warned the public. The public had ample time that a strike was pending, and it's finally here.
Now, customs and immigration officers gathered at Rawson Square in a last-ditch attempt to get the government's attention as they met in cabinet to announce the next general election. However, those attempts were made in vain. We'll just have to wait and see what happens after this. Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS News.
Now, in response to the ongoing industrial action by the Bahamas Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union, Prime Minister Hubert Ingram said the government is preparing for the country's general elections with the hopes that the people will return them to office. And with that in mind, he says they'll not get involved with any sideshows.
I have no idea what the matter is because nobody has brought to my attention any matter that is outstanding, that is deserving of consideration by the government. I met with Customs and Immigration, and they left my office with an understanding, and as far as I was concerned, that was the end of the matter. All of these new things that they're now talking about are not matters that they have brought to my attention. I think it's a political exercise.
Now, while there were some 80 to 150 officers away from their posts, department heads have confirmed to ZNS News that most officers were at work. But executives of the union say the U.S. Embassy should be concerned that the ports are not being manned by trained immigration and customs officers, but Defense Force personnel. The Prime Minister responded this way to that.
The system has been functioning quite well. Passengers are being landed, goods are being cleared. The government's revenue is being collected in a timely manner, and as far as we are concerned, it is normal.
Meantime, Nassau Airport Development Company officials told ZNS News today that a full complement of customs officers were in place at the Lyndon Pinling International Airport. However, Defense Force officers were still manning the immigration posts. Meantime, with more than 6,000 passengers moving through LPIA today, NAT officials say flights were on schedule and travelers were processed in a timely fashion. The governing Free National Movement's Easter holiday family fun day, dubbed Red Splash, provided a huge campaign blitz for the party. Prime Minister Ingram visited events in Abaco and Grand Bahama before touching down in the capital and heading to the new Montague Beach, where he addressed supporters. Our Shanique Miller was there.
This nice beach park is the biggest family fun day in the history of the Bahamas.
Prime Minister Ingram at Red Splash on Montague last night, the final stop on his three-island tour where F&M supporters packed beaches to celebrate family, party, and each other.
Anybody flying over the Bahamas right now will have to think they see the Red Sea. And don't you forget what happened to those Egyptians who tried to pass through the Red Sea in their gold rush chariots. I am very happy to report to you this evening that the tide of red splash has turned into a massive surge of color red.
With the crowd before him rallied, the Prime Minister then turned to party business, winning the next general election.
While our day was a big one, we cannot and we will not take anything for granted. This general election, which is coming up very, very soon, will be a hard-fought contest. The other side is very hungry. We have to fight for every vote in this country. You have to work without ceasing. And there's no time for complacency. Never forget, it's either us or them. You decide whether you like them better than you like yourself. Because there ain't nothing in it for you if they win.
This election season, the first-time voter and the young voter, 18 through 25, represent the largest voting bloc. Reflecting on a 5-year term with unprecedented opportunities now available, Mr. Ingram appealed to the youth of the nation.
The FNL is committed to helping to ignite your future. I make a special appeal to every young person to join us as we gather together to build a 21st century Bahamas. You are the next generation of leaders, and I'm honored to have you in this party. I want you to know, I want to make space for you. I'm getting older now. I'm not trying to hang on to power. I want to have as many of you as possible involved in the politics of this country. That's why I spend so much money on educating you, giving you better schools, good teachers, because I want you to carry the Bahamas forward. Come with me.
Perhaps for the first time, there is a bloc that will decide the outcome of the elections. The Prime Minister said the numbers show there are 20,000 more women registered to vote than men.
Women are going to decide this election. Women, come with me. I'm your man. I love you. And to the men, and to the workers, and to the employers in the Bahamas, and to all Bahamians and investors, whether they're Bahamian or foreigners, I want to assure you, in the FNM, there are no greasy palms and no sticky fingers. Just straight business.
Shanique Miller, ZNS News.
While the police and defense force promotions have already taken place, prison officers are still anticipating theirs. During Red Splash yesterday, National Security Minister Tommy Turnquest explained why, saying prison officers come under the public service and a different system applies to them.
We are currently finalizing the prison officers promotions, which go back to 2008, 2009, when the promotion stopped as a result of a recession. And so we're now processing those promotions, which should be out in a week or so.
Now, the Western Esplanade was the site for the Progressive Liberal Party's Easter Monday Gold Rush. Officials, candidates, and supporters turned out to engage in family-oriented activities and enjoy local entertainment. But of course, the feature event was an address by party leader, the Right Honorable Perry Christie. Our Altaviz Munnings was there.
Progressive Liberal Party leader Perry Christie and his deputy Philip Davis spent most of Easter Monday island hopping to North Andros and North Abaco, where Mr. Christie is confident the party will defeat current Member of Parliament, Free National Movement leader Prime Minister Hubert Ingram.
It's going to happen 4 or 5 weeks from today. It's going to be quick and it's going to be good. We are going to win.
When he arrived at the PLP's Easter Monday Gold Rush on the Western Esplanade, Mr. Christie made it clear to supporters that the party has made very strong preparations for the upcoming general elections, and all PLPs must work hard to win. He told reporters Monday night, though, that he's ready for any election date, as he's aware the Prime Minister must call it before the annual budget debate begins.
In 24 hours, he's going to call an election. He's out of time. You know, the anniversary of 5 years is May 2nd. He likes to talk about Christie later again, but I'm to laugh at him. You see, because listen, not only will he come after May the 2nd, okay, but we are going to be ready for him.
The PLP's 2012 election campaign will primarily focus on crime, the economy, and other crucial issues like a 10-point plan to rescue housing foreclosures. These plans, Mr. Christie insists, will ensure the next PLP government governs effectively, as he maintains losing the election is not an option.
I want to inspire our candidates not to slack up, just to keep on moving forward, keep on working, going to every house, addressing every issue, being prepared to present our program.
Mr. Christie also illustrated to reporters that the very same things the Free National Movement leader criticized about his party in 2007, Mr. Ingram is reportedly doing in 2012 10 times over.
I don't know how Bahamians, I really don't know how Bahamians could laugh when a government overspends by $100 million. I don't know. I don't know how the church could be thinking what they're thinking about when no one asks a question. All right? And so from my point of view, we are a country where issues are dumbed down, where politicians could get away with just dumbing the issues down and talking nonsense about them, and there's no discerning voice.
The PLP leader admonishes supporters this election season to avoid negativity and conduct themselves accordingly, as he cited an alleged incident between an F&M supporter and PLP members at the Western Esplanade Easter Sunday.
That in itself signaled to me that we have to be very careful in our country that we do not inflame passions to the point where they boil over and stupid things take place.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS News.
Team Bahamas came up big on the final day of competition at the 41st Carifta Track and Field Championships. After entering the day with 25 medals, the Bahamas added 15 more medals to its tally to finish second behind Jamaica with a total of 40 medals, 14 gold, 14 silver, and 12 bronze. That 40-medal tally was 9 more than last year, which is music to the ears of Sports Minister Charles Maynard.
I feel very satisfied. We've beaten last year's record and medal count. By far, we've had a couple of new records set by Anthony and by Minis. I mean, this has just been a wonderful display of strength by Team Bahamas.
We go right back to the drawing board. I understand Carifta 2013 will take place in the Bahamas.
Yes, we're
at our new stadium.
At the new national stadium, and so we're going to get ready from now. We want Bahamians to get excited from now because they got to come out and represent and support our young athletes.
When you look at Team Bahamas' performance, we won the premier events, the 100s, the 200s, the 400s. Jamaica won those 3,000s. This team really excelled.
Yes, we have dominated the sprints at this games. One or two mistakes, or we might even have more medals, but it's okay. I'm very proud of the team. I'm very proud of their achievements, proud of the coaches, and proud of the B3As because this is all a part of their plan. They presented a plan to me 3 years ago, and everything is going according to plan. They expect it to grow as we progress through the years, and we've seen that growth. We've seen the expansion of our junior program, and so I'm quite satisfied with what I'm seeing in track and field.
Welcome to tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Let's take a look at what's making business news today. The local daily reporting that lenders in Kerzner International's billion-dollar mortgage debt reportedly plan to transfer Atlantis to a trust in order for the property to be appraised and sold off. The local daily was quoting court documents filed in the U.S. state of Delaware this month following the dropped lawsuit against Brookfield Asset Management in January. Bahamas Supermarkets President Mark Finlayson told the local daily that an investment of $6 to $10 million is needed to upgrade the City Markets chain in New Providence. Finlayson also anticipates closing their sale with SuperValue Supermarkets by the end of the week. A very busy Easter weekend for Nassau Airport Development Company officials as United States and international arrivals to the Bahamas between Good Friday and Easter Monday totaled 19,294, and United States departures totaled 17,721. That's more than that officials processed last year Easter weekend. From international business, Facebook has announced it is to buy Instagram for $1 billion. The company was only launched in October 2010, initially just for the iPhone before being offered as an Android app last week. Remember, you can send us an email or join us on www.znsbahamas.com or become our friend on ZNS's official Facebook page. And that will end tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Thanks so much for watching.